lack of originality.
Slangs.
Everything's been done already. I've faced this problem so many times. Every time I try to write a song since I started this course, I've only been successful on 2 occasions, and that's because there was 2 things that happened to me that were emotionally provoking enough for me to stick to the idea. Because honestly, everything has been done. Everything. There's only so much that we can come up with with what we have. Like I said earlier, there's only so many notes on a keyboard, and there's only so many strings on a guitar. There's really, it's difficult to find something original, and without it becoming that sounds like you stole it from this, and this sounds like you stole it from that. Do you know what I mean?
And that brings it into like copywriting as well. It's
exactly.
Like you post something and you have that risk of it saying, an algorithm picking up saying, oh, this is too similar to this, we're going to copyright you for that.
Literally.
Like, because I faced that challenge, like, when I was, like, 16 and I was creating, like, dubstep beats. I posted one and someone had created the exact same thing I did and I got copyrighted for it. And it's so easy for it to happen. Which is why with like DistroKid, they prevent anyone like trying to steal your work, which I think is another thing. Like when we performed our original songs that hadn't been released yet, I feel like we put ourselves at risk of someone stealing it from us. You know, and I'm not saying like for us to toot our own horn that we're like extremely amazing, but we are good musicians, you know, we have got talent, and there is that risk of people stealing it from us because they want that highlight, they want that, you know, spotlight, they want to take it away. And sadly there are people out there like that, which I think is another risk for musicians.
So you've got like, artists really do have to, this is why it becomes a problem, because where people, like we said earlier, everyone's independent and no one wants to be under a label. That means that you are then responsible for copyrighting your own work and for making sure that you are receiving all of the monetary value from your work versus someone taking it, uploading it to one of their videos and saying, I wrote this song. And it happens and it goes right under you, like, do you know what I mean? It goes straight over your head and you don't even realise. But it's, you have to be smart in terms of legalities, because otherwise you're going to be taken advantage of, and that's just the bottom line. Someone else? What else?
Let's talk about AI. Let's literally talk about AI.
I'm going to say what I said earlier.
Do it.
Literally, I just watched Kaya go onto the AI Snapchat thing and say, write me some lyrics about trees, and it came up with how many fucking verses? Like 4 verses in a second, in a split second. So it would be so easy for someone who has absolutely no lyrical talent to just come up with some lyrics. Fucking, you can go online and get a chord generator, make a song out of nothing. If they have the right team to back it up, it will go viral. But there's people here that have original ideas and are very lyrically talented that, because we don't have we do though, someone who's just starting out in music, whereas us, we've been here for this long and we've gotten all the advice from Dave, Matt, fucking Andy, Mark, everyone. Like we've had the support to put us on the right track, and so that we can just keep going along when we leave here. I completely forgot what I was going to say.
But the thing is, like, I think in a modern day industry, there's also rules. Like, there's rules that people basically haven't been told. Like,
there's unwritten rules.
There's unwritten rules. It's like, if you write a song with AI, a lot of people will be like, that's not your song. Like, you didn't make that. And it's
there is, like, literally no way to tell.
Literally.
If you did that and went off and, like, don't get me wrong, I will happily hold my hands up and say I've been inspired, like, by, if I went and looked.
But being inspired and taking lyrics from an AI generator, it's completely different.
Also, one thing I want to say is that, going back to that, your point with the AI and the social media, is that people could clock on, but then, like, it's not like people really care as well.
Like, what can they say?
This is what I mean as well.
What can you actually say to be like, that's not your lyrics?
Like, it just feels like cheating the system, really.
That's what I was going to say.
Because it's like everyone puts in so much effort, and for someone to come along and just be like, oh, I can't really be asked to write my own lyrics, I'm going to do it with AI. But the thing is, yeah, some people struggle with lyric writing, and that doesn't make you a bad artist. Like, you could be better at something completely different. Like, we're all individually better at something else, you know. But when it comes to like something like really vital, it just feels like cheating the system in a way.
It's just taking advantage, and this is a thing as well. So people could easily use AI, as we've already established, to create an entire song. Like, there's websites where you can just go on, say, write a song about this in this genre, and it will do it. Give it 5 minutes and you've got a whole song in front of you.
Yeah.
That is copyright free, that someone could just download, put it on DistroKid, upload it, and make plenty of money off of it.
Yeah.
But that, again, is adding to the oversaturation of the music industry, because like I said, everything's already been done. So where AI can just come up with anything at a time, it's probably already been done.
It will follow the algorithm.
Exactly.
It just brings it all back to the algorithms. With AI, because it's so intelligent, it'll look on like TikTok, what's trending at the moment, YouTube, Spotify, all of that.
All in the space
everything.
of seconds.
The one thing I want to say as well that us as musicians and artists will struggle with is, I've got 2 points, is inconsistency and label scams.
It is so difficult to be constantly consistent, because it's like when we're talking with Dave, he said to us, he said, with your socials you need to be uploading the same day, like at least every week around the same time. But the thing is, us as students especially, we don't have the time
structure. Yeah, exactly.
You know,
and where we've been focusing all of our attention on the launch event, and we've been focusing our attention on recording and doing things like that, it's hard to keep up with the promotional
and as
side.
well, it's expensive.
It is
like,
so expensive.
We are still, like, some of us are literally only just adults. Like, we have to be at college whilst also having a part-time job to afford the stuff to promote our music. It's expensive.
Because like DistroKid, like, you have 3 different packages that you can get. I think the cheapest one is like £21, but if you want the exclusive one, it's £72.
Yeah.
You know, just to promote your music, and you have to pay that every year. It's an annual thing you have to pay for.
And
so,
every time you want to go onto these promotional websites like Muso, Soup or whatever, you have to pay
it's like
for
a £30 just joining fee.
Yeah.
and then you've got to pay for each promotion that you want to get. Like, there's free ones, but they're the shit ones that no one wants, and that won't do anything.
It's just ridiculous, because it's like, you want to put your music out there, but you also want to profit off of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you put it out to YouTube, you can't profit off of it unless you have a certain amount of subscribers. And this is
the
bringing
same
back
thing with
to
TikTok.
It's the exact same thing with record labels. Bringing it back, you have to have a certain amount of followers. You have to have basically a groupie with you. Like, you need to have that. Like, that's why people were asking us at the event, oh, are we your groupie? And it's like,
my God, fuck off. Someone actually said that to me.
Yeah, because they ask you, are we your groupie? Because you have that, like, little group of people that follow you wherever you go, and that's like family and friends, but it's so you have your constant followers, you know.
Literally.
And then so it gets bigger and bigger and bigger until it's like an arena filled of people, you know. And it's like, how do you get to that point?
Music at the moment is becoming a very rich person's game.
Yes.
It's very...
Absolutely.
Especially like linking...
Isn't everything though?
Yeah, of course. Linking it back to AI and stuff like that, you can pay the top price to get the top AI that will write you all the best lyrics and stuff like that, pay all the right people. You have to have all of this money, it seems, to do music. It's not really...
Before you even make a profit.
Yeah, although music has become so accessible to everyone, and it's with technology and stuff like that, to record music is a lot more accessible, the actual profit side of it is so inaccessible to people who aren't or don't have access to the money to put into music beforehand.
I was literally, this I think also adds on to my research. So obviously when we leave college, a lot of us are not going to have access to the same equipment and the same high-tech shit that we've got here. So I was looking into it. I know that I need to get a Mac so that I can use Logic because it's only accessible on there, and then I have to buy Logic, and then I have to get a microphone and an interface, and I have to pay for all the cables, and I have to pay for all of this shit is going to be so expensive, and that's before I've even created anything that could potentially make me a couple of pounds.
And even if you didn't want to buy it, going and renting a studio for an hour
ridiculous.
Is insane.
Like Pirate, I think we went in my first year. We went there, and there was a group of us, and I think it cost us like £70.
Yeah,
like just
for
like an hour,
very limited time.
Yeah.
It's just really, and the thing is, I know that I wouldn't be wanting to rent out studios purely because if an idea comes to me and I'm not in the studio, it will fly away.
Yeah.
And that's it. So if I want to be able to take full advantage of these moments where I have ideas and I have like melodies in my head that I want to materialise and keep, I have to be able to have access to all this shit. But as someone who is about to leave college, is already in loads of student debt, and can't find a position to work until after I leave here and I have full availability, I cannot afford to do it.
It's almost as if we're on like a sort of like, what's the word?
Cat and mouse.
Yeah, very cat and mouse, very like we're on a very tight time frame. We've got a very tight schedule in order to get music out and to try start building it, because if you leave it too late, it's almost as if there's gonna be too much.
And the thing is, it is so different because it's like, although like personally in my position, I have my own MacBook, I've got Logic, so I can theoretically work from home, but I can't. Like, it's near enough impossible for me because
motivation
being one of them. Two is also like scenery. Like, if I'm in a working environment, I work so much easier. Like, if I'm in a studio, it's so much better for me. But also it's like having those people around, like Matt and Dave and Rich and Andy, to come in and help. You know, like, although we are musicians, we still need guidance. And for modern day, I think a lot of musicians that don't get noticed is because they don't have that support system that we have, and we've had that for the past 3 years. And so for us to learn to do it by ourselves, this is what this year was about. This was us learning to be independent, and although we are independent in many ways, we still need guidance.
Bosh. Level 4.
Say I am a top-notch, very
well
rich artist, and I'm looking for someone to help me make music. What qualities would you need/have that I would want to hire you?
Immediately, USP, unique selling point. You need to have at least some individuality. Like, if we take Adele for example,
Something
she's
that makes
very
you stand out.
she's very passionate. All her music is so intense and it's all her personal experiences, majority of it. You know, she wants something to capture her audience, to make them feel loved and heard. She's gonna want someone who can take what she's feeling and also link it, you know, like have their own unique, you know, input
And
on
also, like, even if you weren't, I know we are talking about music, but even if you weren't, she's funny. She's got a personality like that makes her enjoyable.
She's basically human
She
in
makes
so
it,
many
she's
words.
relatable.
You need people who are relatable.
So say I was looking for a band to perform with. I say I'm going on tour and I need a band. I need a lead guitarist and I need, I don't know, backing singers. So lead guitarist, obviously, portfolio. That is the most important thing, because I can get so much from a person speaking to them in front of them, but if I can go through and look at all of these performances that you've done and look at all of these songs that you've written and look at all of these, do you know what I mean, that I can see that you're really good at soloing. Say I saw Sam's portfolio and I said, oh, actually he's really good at soloing, I would like to have him on my band. And then, do you know what I mean? So that's important. And obviously alongside that is if I was to choose Sam and if I start working with him but he never shows up on time, and
time management, like a key thing in this industry, and to have a band and to have people in your unit, you need to have extremely good time
Reliable.
management. You need to be reliable. It's same with any other job. If you're not reliable, they're not going to take you on.
Yeah.
And like the drive to
Yes.
go home and do it. Like,
Yeah.
although not every musician knows theory, if you know how to sight read, if you know how to read music, you're gonna be more
Valuable. You're
yeah
gonna be more
than someone that
valuable.
doesn't, because then you can just give a piece of paper
That's it.
to that artist and they're gonna go home and learn it straight
Yeah.
away.
Another thing I was going to say, sorry, was you going to say something? Is versatility, is that right? So being able to adapt and like take on all kinds of different genres,
Yeah.
energies, fields, do you know what I
Exactly
mean?
what we were saying at the
being
start.
flexible, being able to, do you know what I mean? Pick up, and people who are enthusiastic, one thing that really, really stresses me out is when if say we're in rehearsal, we're doing someone's song, and I don't know, so whoever's playing bass, not you specifically, but just like
Calling you out.
whoever's playing bass, it just seems very
bothered.
bored, playing the bare minimum, like can't really give a fuck. I'm
And not
genuinely
giving,
not talking about you, and
and
you know
not
who I'm
giving
talking about.
ideas either, like not saying, oh, that sounds great, but do you know what would sound even better?
Yeah.
Because then you're like,
Shall we
"Ooh,
try this?
Yeah.
like,
Let's give
ooh."
this a go. Let's try this. Oh, we've got to do a transition. Do you know what I think would be a really good idea? Let me do something like this.
Because especially because I'm mainly a singer. Like I don't, everything that I know how to play on instruments, I've taught myself. But if I go to someone and say, could you play this on guitar for me? And they say, like, yeah, that is sick, but it's quite basic.
Yeah.
Am I alright to spice it up a bit? I'd be like, yeah, go
Absolutely.
for it.
Because
Like,
that's the thing,
please
it's
do.
involvement. Like being a part of a band is you need to have that enthusiasm, as you said, because without enthusiasm, without passion, it's just meh.
Sound.
It's literally just a flat line. You know, like you want something that's everyone's gonna love, and they're gonna love playing.
I've got 2 points to say. I want to say like synergy and confidence.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Expand.
Go on. Elaborate.
Like in terms of synergy and like chemistry, if you were to, like you said with the bassist, you don't want someone that's boring, that doesn't match your energy.
Yeah, and
Like,
doesn't.
you want someone
yeah.
to match your energy, so
Yeah,
you
you
guys
want to
can
be
bounce
able
off
to
each
get
other.
along with the people
Yeah.
around
Yeah,
you,
for
like
sure.
people who can take constructive criticism and come back to it with,
Yeah.
well, I've had these ideas instead,
Yeah.
and now I've actually thought about what you said, and I think you'll really enjoy this.
Yeah.
And do you know what I mean? Just people around you that are actually going to,
Benefit you.
yeah, and people that you're going to enjoy spending all of that time
Yeah.
with. Do you know what I mean? Carry on, confidence.
And the confidence as well to improvise with different stuff, because let's say you were trying to do a transition and somebody wanted to pitch an idea, you would want them to have the confidence to be like, yo, let me add my input
Confidence
in
to speak
from
up,
some-
you know, not feel like you're segregated just to play bass and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, like you want to be in a group of people where everyone feels comfortable, you know, because it's like if you're not going to feel comfortable in it, then there's no point being there.
Yeah,
You're
'cause
not going to enjoy it, and then it's
Yeah.
going to reflect in your work.
I would
Yeah.
rather someone say to me, Kaya, cop onto yourself, that does not sound good, then I go back and release it and then get really
Yeah.
bad reviews or something.
Yeah.
It's like recording as well. Like as a producer, you need to be honest with the artist that you're producing for. You want to be like, we need to do another take, but it's all about how you talk to people as well. I think that's another factor that we need to bring in. Is how you speak to people is a massive thing because people
Respectful
take
boundaries.
yeah,
Manners cost nothing.
yeah,
Factual.
exactly.
But logic is expensive.
True.
Let me keep going.
But like I think as artists, like you just have to collab really well, and you also have to make sure that anybody who's had like one little idea that you feel like has changed the song completely, give them credit for it, because it's like the band that is recording your music, they don't really get highlighted a lot. You don't
real.
really hear about those guitarists. But the thing is, like for example, Queen. Everyone knows Brian May.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Roger Taylor. Like, everyone knows John Deacon. Like, everyone knows them because they're so important, massive factors, and they got credit because Freddie Mercury made sure they.
Do you know the name of the drummer of Coldplay?
No.
No, you don't, and that's because they always just move straight past it, and all everyone ever thinks of is I don't even fucking know what his name is.
I only know Chris Martin, and
Chris
that's
Martin.
the lead singer. That's
There's
it.
a lot of artists that do like to involve their band like quite a lot, even if they're solo artists. Harry Styles, he's one of them. He loves to talk about his band that he works with and stuff like that. I know Dave. Any of you know Santan Dave?
Yeah.
He loves talking about his band. Whenever he plays live and stuff like that, or when I've seen him play live, he plays with live bands, even though like being a rapper and stuff like that and having very high electronic beats, he's still always when I saw him live, he kept talking about like bringing up the guitarists and the drummers' names and just saying, just thanking them for being there. It really does go a long way.
It does.
And you know,
as an artist to like show their appreciation for the other artists around them.
And you know, in our FMP at the Fox and Firkin, Taylor did that. During that part where there was that massive solo, she was shouting out every single musician on stage.
Yeah,
she was.
And
And
even
it's so important.
the musicians, like I took the time at the end to say thank you to our sound man.
Yeah.
Like, although maybe
He
he
falling
did fall asleep on the sound desk.
Taking a
like,
little catnip,
taking
you know.
an appreciation.
You made Abby fucking fall over.
Taking the time to appreciate
Everyone
people that
who's-
hosted us, the people that
Yeah.
are making it possible. Because although he wasn't great, we wouldn't have had sound.
Yeah, and
if
our
he
end
wasn't there.
performance, literally
I
all
mean,
of
we
us
would've-
were
we
like,
probably
thank
would've
you
got
so
better
much
sound,
for
but-
being here.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, acknowledging the audience themselves because they took time out of their days. They paid to be there, you know, and
Some of them didn't though.
some of them didn't, but you know,
Yeah.
we'll look past that because
Yeah.
we don't mind. But you know, it's acknowledging the people around you who helped you, and yeah, it's perfect.
So, conclusion. If we were looking for a bandmate or a songwriter, we need creativity,
Yes.
reliability, versatility, confidence, and just like
Politeness. Kind
people
person.
who are enjoyable to be around.
Yes.
Because who the fuck wants to spend all their time making music with someone who's boring as fucking watching paint dry?
Yeah.
Bosh.
It's tough.